Hi, it's your local Dragon Lady here, and the OCG ban list has just gotten released. It doesn't take effect until October, but I figure pretty fun to look at the cards that have gotten a hit. And the OCG ban list is actually pretty important because it tends to influence what we're going to see in the TCG. At least that's what I've saw in the past few ban lists. So it kind of gives us a preview on what to expect. Some of the results can be pretty surprising. So let's give it a look. Now, right off the bat, I'm using I have the Japanese version set up here. So just to make things easier, let's go to the English one. I'm pretty sure a lot of my audience can't read kanji, so right off the bat, this is very interesting. We got the Eclipse Wyvern, Guard Dragon, Archipane, and Soul Charge. So yeah, from what I've heard, Soul Charge was returned to their format, and I guess they figured like, okay, this really is busted, so we gotta put it back on the forbidden list. And it is like Soul Charge, even at 1, it's almost a win condition. If you draw that card and you got lots of life points to spare, like you're just gonna spam your board. Just get all your extra deck monsters out. And yes, while you can't conduct your battle phase when that card's activated, it almost doesn't matter. You know, you build up a good negate board, boom. Your opponent isn't going to do very much, so wait till your next turn, go in for the kill. But Guard Dragon Archipane, okay. I've always said that Guard Dragons need to take a hit. I've always said that LP should take the hit because it's basically a free special summon from your deck. And the one most people will go for is the Red Eyes. And that just keeps the combos going. But Guard Dragon Archipane is still a very good card to hit because it's almost as bad, or probably even worse than LP, because that's a free special summon from your extra deck. And if you pick the right target, yeah, you're just going to keep on going. So if this is any indication for the TCG, it looks like that at least one Guard Dragon is going to get hit. At least I'm hoping it does. Because those cards, they're just crazy. For the limited, White Dragon Wyvern Buster, so I guess they saw how the TCG was going with that, so they got that hit. Say to Skull Dread, holy moly. I really hope this happens to us. You know, that I've been shocked in the past few ban lists that Siege Skull Dread wasn't touched, and that card is crazy. Now, in my current build of Blue Eyes Guard Dragons, I used to use 2, and you can. They're both very easy to get out, to draw 8 cards, but I reduced it to 1 because my extra deck was getting quite tight, and certain cards are just too good to ignore. But if this happens in the TCG, it won't bother me at all. I think 1 is fair. I mean, it is on the borderline that it should get banned, but I think 1 is okay. My deck is adjusted to play 1 anyway, so it won't bother me. But either 1 or a ban. So Konami, yes. In the TCG, I hope you're paying attention. I think this is fairly reasonable. Draconet. I love Draconet. I only have 2. I don't have any Signet mining, which is the reason why I don't play it all that much. But given the way the format is going, like with Dragon Links, Draconet is practically a free IB. You know, for the IB play, you just normal, like especially if it's in your opening hand, you just normal summon it, use the effect, and you can special summon your Galaxy Serpent from your main deck, and just keep going. So long as you don't get any disruption from your opponent through a hand trap or a big giant rock, keep going. It's just going to go all the way to a real good negate board, and your opponent isn't going to do very much. I mean, negate boards are not really my style. I don't really like them personally, but hey, it's just the way the game is. So yes, if it's legal, you play what you want, and it's up to your opponent to adapt to it. And so far, people have been doing a pretty good job. And speaking of adapting, Mystic Mine, yep, they are going to limit Mystic Mine. Very curious now if that will reflect us, because it's currently at 3. And Mystic Mine is, look, I have played Mystic Mine. I don't play it anymore. not overly my style, but I mean, this card is still good, and people are still undermining it, and trust me, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Even after the ban list, I adjusted my Mystic Mine burn deck, and the last time I played it at my locals, it's still placed during the meta day. So, as a control anti-meta deck, Mystic Mine is still super, super relevant. So really, people, you should not ignore this card. And according to OCG, they are not. So they're limiting it to 1. It's going to be very interesting to see how it works out in their format, because there's lots of ways you can still get it out. And of course, we all know about Jeff, who topped with his Mystic Mine deck, and I saw the profile. It is great. I love it. I especially love how he cut onto the trick with Field Barrier. That's the reason why I have Field Barriers. I'm going to put it in my Nurse Burn deck because Dark Sanctuary, which is a very underrated card, I want the card protected. But yes, due to Mystic Mine's effect of destroying itself, if you and your opponent control the same amount of monsters, hey, Field Barrier protects it. So it's, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But if it will change the deck, it will. But like with everything else, people learn to adapt. And I love that Jeff displayed that with Mystic Mine, that despite the ban list, you can still do it. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Zodiac Barrage and Dragonic Diagram. Semi-limited, okay. Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Preda Plant Scorpio. Alright. Yes, fusions are awesome. The fusion support is what makes a lot of these fusion decks very, very playable. And now, semi-limited to 2, like if this were to happen to us, again, it won't bother me that much because I only play 2 in my Blue Eyes Fusion deck anyway. You don't want to bog down your deck with too many of these plant monsters, even though they're very, very good. With the other cards, I don't play them as much. The Cobra, I think it's called, I only play 1 because if it's in your hand, it's pretty much a dead card. So, yeah, if this reflects us in any way, I think it'll be pretty healthy. Lady Debug, this surprised me. Salamangrates, like in both OCG and TCG, they're still topping events. Despite all the hits they've been taking, Gazelle to 1, Circle to 1. People are adapting and they're still finding ways to keep that deck viable. So, Lady Debug is banned currently in the TCG. So in the OCG, they're going to have a semi-limited. You'd think that despite the hits Salamangreats have taken, that they would keep these things banned or limited. But I don't know. The OCG must see something that we don't. So I guess they're going to say, okay, Lady Debug, have that too. And I guess we'll see what happens. The OCG, it's strange. I guess like they're experimenting with this because remember with Soul Charge, they just got Soul Charge back. Now it's forbidden right away, so who knows if they'll regret this move with Lady Debug. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. I love this card. I do. I don't really play Kaiju cards exclusively. I know people who do. Kaiju Control and Kaiju Stun. Very good against some of the decks that I play that play real big big monsters, boss monsters that with really good protections, and it's an easy out. And so now I went against these decks, and they're a challenge, but they're still really fun if you're playing with them or against them. Spiral Resort Reasoning. Okay, True Draco Face Off and 1 for 1. Another one that really surprised me. In the TCG, it's at 1. For a good reason, especially when you combine it with Glow Up Bulb. Depending on what deck you're playing, 1 for 1 is almost a win condition. And it's a really good card to have in Dragon Link decks with the Guard Dragons because it's 2 tuners. So if you activate 1 for 1, get the Glow Up Bulb, link it off, and use its effect to mill a card to get it back out again, you're just going to keep on going. Keep on going, at least for the initial Synchro Summon for some monsters. I mean, you can use that to get the Borlock Savage out. you don't have anything else out. Because the guard dragons, you must use dragons and link on into those. But with other key synchros, you can do that. So, but having it at 2, wow. I don't think that would affect us that much. I really, personally, I think with the TCG, I think they're going to keep it at 1. They just got to. Like, that card is just so good. So, I don't think that move is going to reflect us that much. Unlimited. ABC Buster, Dark Arm Dragon, TG Hyper Librarian. Haha, now, Trishula, I think, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Yeah, that pretty dragon. I'll get a picture up here for you, for anyone who's not familiar with it. Wonderful card. There we go. Very strong effect. Basically what it does is, once he's synchro summoned, it allows you to banish 3 cards. 1 from your opponent's hand, their field, and their grave. So that is very strong, but it surprised me that he was banned or limited at all, because there are other cards out there that has that same effect. Now oh shoot, I don't have the English one up here. My kanji is really bad, but I think his effect is like he has to be synchro summoned before you can do the banishing. So at least it has a limit. It wouldn't be a free banishing if you just get him out with Guard Dragon Argapane. But I guess they figure, hey, listen, like, there's other cards that have similar effects to this one. So really, why would you have it banned or limited if that's the case? So I think that's probably the reasoning why they have him unlimited. I don't see him in play all that often. It is really annoying when his effect does resolve, but hey, that's just the way the game works. If you can find a way to negate it, you can, because there's lots of ways to do it. Limited, Necrocycle, limiter removal. That card had a very interesting history. I remember the days of yore when it was banned. So many ways you can abuse it. And in a way, today you still can, but just the way that today's format works, there's so, holy moly, there's so many ways to counteract that, so really, why not at this point? And Solemn Strike, because yeah, why not? In the TCG, a Solemn Judgment is back to 3, which I still think is a little crazy, but you kind of almost need to, really. So I guess they're saying, let's take Solemn Strike now off the list. You can have 3, see how that plays out. So yes, OCG ban list is very interesting. I kind of hope some of these do get implemented into TCG once our list comes out, especially with Sage of Skulldread and the Guard Dragons. That just, it's gotta happen. Mystic Mine, it's still relevant, so I do think, I think it is reasonable for that card to get hit. There's still other ways you can get it out and use it, and it would be very interesting to see how people adapt to do that, because if you like a certain deck that much, you're going to find a way to play around the ban list, because the only one deck I think that suffered the most probably would have been Goki's, and that was due to the banning of Fireball Dragon. But yeah, that made the game almost unplayable, so no one is crying for the demise of that card. So yes, so what do you all think? So do you think this OCG deck, ban list is reasonable? Do you think any of these regulations should apply to us in the TCG? Personally, I think it should. Hopefully it does. But hey, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But as always, just remember to be a good sport. Play the game, not the fame. See ya! Thanks for watching! If you like what you see, subscribe and be sure to click on the bell for notifications. You can also check me out on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Happy dueling!